What's going on, everybody? This is your girl K Rich, and I am coming at you yet again today from a PK perspective. Man, I have been having some seriously frustrating conversations and been put in some very uncomfortable predicaments with people, and I'm so glad. I'm so glad that God knows more than we know. I'm so glad that God orders out of his infinite wisdom and he knows everything, y'all. He knows everything, y'all. And we can go through these situations and these times and seasons, or whatever we want to call it, where we don't understand what's going on. And we don't see how this makes sense. And we don't see, how is this supposed to be, oh, for my benefit? How is this going to be for my good, right? And I'm sorry it's dark. I just I'm in my truck and I'm having a moment. And I was like, let me have this moment with everybody. Because maybe I'm not the only one. But not understanding what God is doing, but sticking with it. Like, eventually it's going to make sense. And if it doesn't make sense on this side of glory, it'll make sense as another point. But stick with what God is doing. Like, I'm understanding separation. And people probably are going to think they know what I'm talking about, but they really don't. But I'm understanding God separating things, and God moving you, and God, you know, restricting who he wants you around, who he's placing in your sphere, who he's placing close to you. Like, he knows better. I saw a post like, God took them away from you because he heard conversations that were had when you weren't there. Like, he knows the thoughts of the people who are around you. He knows what they really think about you. He knows how they really feel about you. He knows what their concept of you. When I say think about you and feel about you, you automatically think, oh, somebody hating. And it's not always that. Some people only know you to be in that season, right? They weren't there for your growth. They weren't there for the times when God is stretching you, the time when, you're fasting, your prayer, your spiritual maturity, your maturity as a human being. They only know you. Some people that you had friends in high school, and they only know high school you. So guess what? They can't handle mature you that's got kids and a family and a house and a mortgage. They only know high school you. And there's times when God is like, all right, I need you to begin to separate yourself from some people or some things. Or you might be like me. Like, I was, for the majority of my adult, and I still am, but for the majority of my adult life, I was the only person in my family that did not live in the same area. The only one. I went away to college, and I never lived as an adult back home in Hawaii. So I always would be like, dang, man, like, why am I so far away? Why am I so far away? And I would get even frustrated with, like, well, at least God, since you took me away from my family, you could have gave me a family. Like, I don't got no kids. I don't got no, I ain't married. I ain't got nothing, right? But there are things that I would have just messed up. There are lessons that I wouldn't have learned being that close, in that proximity to my family. There are things that, and I hope nobody don't get offended, but I'm grown. I'm 40, shorty. Don't look at me. I'm 40, right? There are things that, because I have not lived with my mother and father and brother and sister and grown up around them, and then to see the maturing in me or experience me in this season, they only know 18, you're okay. So when we have certain conversations, I hear that they don't know me. And not in a way that they don't love me or in a way that they don't support me, but they don't know me now. They don't know a lot of stuff that I've been through, the maturing process I've been in. They don't know the growth as a adult, let alone the growth spiritually. They don't know what I know. So they kind of can keep me in this small place. And I'm like trying, and it's not, and I'm not saying this to say anything negative about my family at all. I'm using myself as an example for other people to see. So when I talk about certain things, it's kind of like, I don't know what I'm talking about, even though I'm the only person in my family with 2 degrees and about to get a 3rd, about to get a master's. So it can come off sometimes like extremely frustrating. Extremely frustrating. It can come out sometimes like, dang, like, is it just because it's me? It's only because I'm saying it? Because if Boopacoop down the street would say it, y'all be like, Boopacoop really had a word. But because it's me, it's like, oh, okay. And it can feel like that. And it's not that I'm wrong. It's not that they're wrong. It's not that, you know, they're treating me bad. It's that they just don't know this K. And so the separation for me to get to what God needs me to be, the reason I can stand on my own too so heavy is because I've had to, right? I've had to stand on my own too. I've had to go do stuff on my own. I've had to make things happen. I've had to say, this is what I know, so I'm going to, no matter who it is, no matter if it's a friend, no matter if it's your mom, no matter if it's your grandma, the Bible says, if even an angel comes and teaches you another gospel, you don't receive it. Like, in other words, you got it. You know what you know. This is brought to you directly from the Most High. You know what you know. Now stand on what you know. And if anybody, anything, any creature, any concept comes up against the knowledge of God, you are to cast that down. And the knowledge of God might be what he has told you directly. Decisions that he's telling you to make that maybe they don't understand. Just like you don't understand. There's stuff I did not understand. Why are you pulling this person away from me, God? Why are you telling me to cut this cord? Why are you telling me, you know, watch how close I'm like? Why are you telling me this when this person or these people haven't done nothing to me? They've really just been cool. Like, they've really just been what we would consider good. We've had a great relationship, but as you mature, you see that there would have been a strife there because you're going in another direction, or you may be going into something different that he has for you to bring, and he wants you to bring it untainted. He wants you to bring it without other opinions. He wants you to bring it from his mouth to the world. And so understanding these processes has just blessed me, y'all. Bless me. Bless me big time. Bless me big time. Because I have gone through, and I wish my best friend was in the truck right now. I have gone through the boo-hoo phases. The boo-hoo phases and stages where you don't understand. Why is it like this? Why don't they accept me? Why am I fighting this? Why is it so hard? What's going on? I don't understand. And the whole time, God is like, bro, just trust the process, baby girl. Just trust me. Don't trust the process, but trust me because I'm in control of the process. I like to say that. Trust the God of the process because I'm orchestrating it. I got it together. And in the end, you're going to see. You're going to see why I did it. In the end, you're going to say, oh, man, I'm so glad I didn't do that. I'm so glad I didn't turn that way. Like, I'm so glad that I listened because now where I'm at and what I've gained through obedience and what I've gained through sacrifice and what I've gained through the protecting hand that I did not recognize has been just phenomenal. I would not be who I am today. I would not be where I am today had I just said, no, I don't want to do that. No, that hurts a little too. That's a little too uncomfortable. I really could have said, let me use this as an example. When I left Detroit, I really could have said, bump this. I moved to Detroit because you told me to. And look at how this worked out. Bump this. I'm going home. I could have been at home in Hawaii on the beach living in my parents' house rent free because I'm a daddy's girl. My daddy said, you know, as long as I'm not married, I can live there forever. Oh, but I could have been doing this, right? No financial obligations of any great magnitude. Just kick my feet up, especially after what I came through. Just kick my feet up for a little while. Just take a break for a little while. But no, God was like, I need you to go to Tampa. And I was like, I don't know nobody in Tampa. I don't want to go to Tampa. I told the Lord I didn't want to be nowhere sticking out in the water. And where does he see me? To the state, sticking out in the water. I was like, no California, no Louisiana. I don't want to be on the water. And where does he put me? The only state sticking fully tucked out into the ocean, right? And I was like, I don't understand that. Why can't I be closer to my family? Why can't I get back to where it's a comfortability for me? And if I had said, you know what? I'm going to do what I want to do. Because right now I feel some type of way, or right now I feel like I know better in this situation, I would not have the blessings that I have today. And I'm talking about, people think blessings, they don't think you're talking about material stuff or whatever. I'm talking about the spiritual blessings, the spiritual maturity, the knowledge of who God is, the way I have it now, the knowledge of his love and his provision, his fathering in his sovereignty. I would not have that. I would still be on milk in a lot of areas. But having to lick your wounds that were not self-inflicted, having to lick wounds that some were self-inflicted, having to mend under the care of an almighty God, all on my own with just me and him, made me something different. It made me stand up a little different. It made my back a little bit straighter. It made my speech a little bolder. And I wouldn't be that. The revelation I have got on my own, and I say on my own, of course, God is giving the revelation. But the revelation I have gotten in the past 3 years would be equal to me, the entire time of me growing up in church. Let me say that again. The revelation of who God is and who he is to me and who I am in him and how he's functioning, the spiritual maturity and growth that I have received in the past 3 years is equal to the entirety of my life growing up in church. But if I would have said, no, I really want to be comfortable. No, I really want to go. I really want to take a break. I really want to just usurp this process and go about it in a way that feels good to me. I would have missed out on all of that. And with that spiritual maturity and growth as a person and growth in God and growth in, there has been other blessings. There has been blessings that we would call tangible, financial, monetary, whatever, material. But I would have missed out on so much, thinking that I knew better. But I'm so glad God's ways are higher than our ways. His thoughts are higher than our thoughts. He knows the imagination of our thoughts are far off. He knows best. And if we can get to a place of trusting that knowledge and submitting to it, we would be light years ahead of where we are right now. I know I would be if I had started that. If I had done it that way. Light years. But I'm thankful for God redeeming the time for me. I'm thankful that even in the time that I have messed up, that I have made mistakes, that I have done things wrong out of my own hand, or I have done things outside of his will because I didn't understand, or because I felt like, oh, I think this is how I should do it, instead of going to him. I would have messed so much up, but I'm thankful. I'm thankful for the mind to say, okay, God, I done kind of got left. Let me check myself and let me get back in proper alignment with you so that you can get me to where you would have me to be. There's something that I had said, and I want to say it was like 3 or 4 years ago, and I thought at that time it was a negative thing. And I hope I can explain this right. I was having a conversation with a good friend of mine, and it was like, well, what is it that you want to do? What is it that you want to be? And I said, I truly right now have no ambition. I have no drive to be anything in and of myself. All I want is whatever God wants for me. And whatever path that looks like, and wherever that takes me, I'm going to go. And it sounds like, oh, you're not motivated and you're not willing to put in the work, but that's not it. The ambition I'm talking about is for me to have lifting myself up in areas. I don't have an ambition to be like, oh, I want to be this huge mogul. I want to be this business owner. I want to be, I want to be a pastor. I want to be I don't have that. Whatever if God wants me to be the heavenly shoe shine girl that greets everybody at the door with polish and a cloth, where is the polish? Like, I want to be what he wants me to be. I want to do what he wants me to do. Period. No more, no less. Because I feel like if I start to get that, if I start to say, well, oh, that looks good, that's tantalizing. I'm not walking by faith. I am walking by sight. Even if it's the sight of the vision of my mind. Because then I start to, this is how I want my life. This is how I want this, that, and the other. And I know it can come on because we're so used to people being like, let's have these vision casting parties. My vision is whatever God showed me today. I had a vision of the day, and I'm going to do that thing. God, show me what you want me to do today. Give me the anointing I need to accomplish what you're having me to do today, and I'm going to do that thing. I don't have the ambition and aspirations of dreams to be within myself. I hope that makes sense. My aspiration is to be in line with God, to be as close to him as possible, to be as correct and in line with his word as possible. That is my heart's desire. And I think that helped me in an area of submission, in an area of whatever process he got to take me through, I'm going to go through it, because all I want to do is whatever he wants me to do anyway. So it would be extremely foolish to say, I want to do what you want me to do, and let me go do this, and hope that when you get done telling me what to do, this that I want to do lines up with what you want to do. I had to slow down, because I was a A, B, C, D, E, F, G planner. And I remember telling God, I don't have a plan, let alone a plan B. What do you want me to do? Where do you want me to be? So trusting the God of the process is so essential. Knowing that he is a good father. And I think that helped me too. I have a great father. My dad is, don't play, my dad is that dude, right? So I have a great father. And to begin to imagine or see God in that same light, like my daddy wouldn't not let me eat. My daddy wouldn't hold nothing back. If I needed, like, I talk to my mom probably every day, but when it's decision time, Daddy, I need such and such. Can you help me? Or, you know, even my mom, let me talk to your dad. I have that type of relationship. And I know that no matter what it looks like, if Charles Ritchie is saying something, he sees something I don't see. He knows something I don't know. And I'll trust him guiding me. Some of his no's made me. Just like a lot of God's no's saved me from me. Right? It makes so much sense when we do it his way. It is so much clarity and absence of confusion when we just do it his way. Like I don't know, it just makes the path smooth. You might be a trailblazer, but doing it his way makes the path smooth. He sees that it's a rocky patch to the right, so don't go right. He sees that there's something going on to the left. Don't go left, just go straight. Okay, now stop. And stop and wait. And you might be sitting there like, what is going on? All of a sudden, a bullet train goes flying past you. And you missed getting took out because you listened to the voice of God. You listened to his knowledge and his will and his way. So that's like my encouragement, man. Like, trust that. Trust that God knows. Trust that he sees something you don't see. Be confident in that. 100%. Because if he's showing you, it's for your good. It's for your good. It's for your good. What's the word say? God said, if you ask me for bread, what I give you, stone? What I'm doing is for your good. His will, his perfect will is for your good. Believe that. Grab onto that. Know that. So even when he's weeding out, even when he's separating, even when he's pruning, even when it's uncomfortable, even when he's correcting you, even when he's chastening you, even when it seems like you are walking in the dark, know that it's for your good. It's for your good. It's for your good. I love y'all. And as you see, I'm fired up. I've been fired up since midnight prayer. Sister Prashia Hillier, Pastor Prashia Hillier, you done had me fired up since midnight prayer. So hopefully tonight I can actually sleep. But I love y'all. I want y'all to do what I want y'all to do every time I'm on here. And that is go be great. Peace.